Hey guys, what's going on? It's Obezgaming back again with another video. And today we have our first custom tactics video of FIFA 22. You guys loved them last year, so I had to bring them back early days for this game. And as you can see, the formation that we're going to be covering today is 4-3-2-1. Now this is a formation that I've actually sort of predominantly used for the past 3 or 4 FIFA titles. It's by far my favourite formation, and it's really effective in certain areas. So I'll jump in and show you my tactics, and show you how to use the formation in the best possible way. So as I said, it is 4-3-2-1. The defensive style we're going to use is balanced and does what it says on the tin. Very balanced, doesn't leave you too exposed searching for the ball, but at the same time you're not regressing to the edge of your box like drop back makes you. And with that we have 70 width and 70 depth. The width is there to counteract opposing wingers, and I appreciate the depth is quite high at 70, so I would say if you are going to play with this high depth you do want some quick centre backs. Or, you know, if that's being said, you can drop that depth down a little, but 70 seems about a good balance for me with some quick centre-backs. Our offensive tactics are going to be fast build-up and direct passing, and these two complement each other really well. Chance creation is a new thing in FIFA 22, and I believe the preset one is the forward runs chance creation tactic. And if you actually read the description of it, it says that they don't make forward runs. That's really misleading. Direct passing is the one you want to encourage your players to get in behind the defence, and as I said, that complements fast build-up really well. Along with that, we are going to go for 60 width and 6 players in box. The reason for the width being a little bit narrower in offence and defence is for good reason, because we want to encourage the two in the 4-3-2-1, the two left forward and right forward, to stay quite central and always be involved in attacking areas. Players in the box, corners and free kicks are very much down to personal preference. I like to keep it quite high because I do like to get quite a few men into the box, but without sort of overselling ourselves in defence. Moving over now to player instructions, which is arguably the most important part of this video. And beginning with the keeper, we have him on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. This encourages them to be quite active and come and collect the ball when necessary. Our fullbacks are both going to be on stay back while attacking, normal interceptions, overlap and stick to position. I appreciate obviously when you're telling them to stay back while attacking, there's not going to be that many overlaps going on. It just means that if there is a situation where they go forward, they are making a good overlap and run outside of the winger. You're not going to need to touch either of the centre-backs, just keep them both on stay back while attacking, normal interceptions and stick to position. You don't want to mess about with those boys. And then moving into the midfield 3, you're going to want the most defensive of your midfielders as the central one, and he's going to be on stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of box for cross, normal interceptions, stick to position, and crucially cover centre. The default is cover wide, and that causes all sorts of problems. So you're going to want this man to be the absolute anchor of your team, just staying in front of the defence and covering the very centre of the pitch. In terms of the two outside centre mids, you're going to want these two to be more like box-to-box players, so I use Kostic and Chan. And they need to be on balanced attack, balanced crossing, normal interception, stick to position, so all the defaults, but then again, cover centre. Because we have our fullbacks on stay back while attacking, there's no reason for them to be on cover wide. There should be no situations where they're required to do that, so you want all 3 of the midfielders on cover centre. And as far as the front 3 go, the nice thing about 4-3-2-1 is it allows you to give the 2 wider players the same instructions as the striker, so you want to have all 3 of them on stay central, get in behind, normal interceptions and stay forward, so you just don't want them coming back on defence, keep them up there, and having the stay central instruction makes them really overwhelm defences in the middle of the pitch. So I'll jump into some gameplay and show you the sort of key features of this 4-3-2-1 formation. And as I said, the big selling point for this formation is that front 3 and the way they interact and cross over with each other throughout the game. The stay central and get in behind instructions on the wingers really make them drive inwards towards the goal, make runs in behind the defence. And one thing to mention is it is very important that the 2 wingers that you use are inverted, so you want a right footer on the left and a left footer on the right, and what that does is it encourages them to come inside as well, and when they are driving towards the goal they're going to be on their good foot. So this formation really lends itself to getting that left and right forward in areas where they can do sort of finesse shots from outside the box on their strong feet, which, as we've seen, seems to be the most OP way of scoring goals this year, is the time shooting finesse shots from outside the box. So this formation really allows you to get into the sort of areas that allow you to take on those opportunities. What I really like about it is it does feel like you've got a defensive unit and an attacking unit with the 2 sort of box-to-box midfielders supplying support to both of them. Especially with your CDM just sitting in front of the defence, you know that you can afford to go forward and attack, knowing that if you do lose the ball, you've got at least 5 men covering behind you every single time. Meaning that when you do win the ball back, it's important to fire it forward quickly, using those driven passes up into the striker or the winger's feet. And you know that when they've got the ball, they're going to have at least 2 options of the other 2 strikers, and also more often than not there'll be at least one, if not two, of the box-to-box midfielders shown for the ball as well. So it really lends itself to giving you lots of options in attacking areas, and that reason is also why you need your fullbacks on stay back and that central midfielder on stay back to allow you the freedom to be able to do that, because otherwise you could be leaving yourself exposed. Another key feature of the formation is that direct passing chance creation setting in the tactics. As you can see in a lot of these clips, my Marlon, the striker, makes a lot of runs in behind, and that's purely down to that direct passing chance creation tactic. And what that does is it creates a lot of space. As it drags the defence back to mark him, it creates a lot of space in and around the edge of the box for Sane and Gnabry, the two wingers in this situation. So I think it's really key with this formation to have a really fast number 9 down the middle and some very effective left and right forwards who are quick but also good with those long shots. I don't think it's absolutely necessary to have really quick players in those areas, because as you can see I'm using Gnabry who has pace in the 80s, so he's fast without being absolutely rapid, but they're not the ones that are going to be making those key runs in behind more often than not. They're going to be the ones picking up the second ball on the edge of the box. So as long as they're fairly nippy, you can use a lot of players in this sort of situation. As I said in the early part of this video, I do think it's quite important with playing 70 depth that you do have some fairly quick centre-backs. I don't think that's too much of an issue on this year's game, as there are a lot of centre-backs with sort of 75 plus pace, and that allows you to have the confidence knowing that with quite a high line you are going to be able to get back at people, especially when you've got shadows on those players. So I think that's something to bear in mind. If you do want to play 70 depth, you do need the pace in the back line. But that being said, as all four are on stay back while attacking, there shouldn't be too many situations where you're getting caught on the break too badly. There should be enough players to sort of crowd them out before it gets to that. And finally, the one thing I would like to comment on this formation is it is a very fun formation to play. You can score a lot of nice passing goals with it. It is really enjoyable to use. It's not so as one-dimensional as a lot of other formations. You get a lot of men forwards and you can feel like you can really pick your options and score some really nice footballing goals. In this video alone, you can see quite a lot of nice intricate passing play in and around the box that leads to some really nice goals. So it is fun to use as well, which I think is really important, because winning's great, but if you're playing the game and you're not enjoying it, then what's the point in playing the game at the end of the day? But that does bring me to the end of the video, guys, so I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy using this formation. It brings you a lot of wins. Please feel free to like and subscribe, it would mean the world to me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.